Hey everyone, this is Joanne coming to you live from New York. I'm also known as #UnicornBoss. So as you guys are jumping online tonight, go ahead and hit me up with some unicorn emojis because those are my jam. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. So super excited tonight, you guys. I'm sorry for the late live video. I just finished an amazing training. So I've been busy all night long, but I do appreciate your keto questions that you left me on my post earlier today. So I thought we would just chit chat and go over some of your questions. And if we have time at the end of the video here, I'm happy to answer some keto questions here as well. So I see a bunch of you guys jumping online. Welcome. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. By the way, if you're a brand new friend, don't forget to comment new below so that way I can circle back around and connect with you and say hi. I love to say hi to all my brand new friends, so I appreciate when you leave that new comment there. And if we're not friends yet, make sure you go ahead and send me a friend request and make sure you're following me too. I have maxed out my friends list at 5,000 friends, so if you're finding that you can't send me a friend request, please go ahead and click on my face and then go over to my page and just click the follow button. That way you can stay in touch with all the fun things that we do here on my page and all of the keto things. So, and by the way, if you're keto, don't forget to comment keto below and let me know how long you've been on the journey. If you're brand new to me, welcome. My name is Joanne. I've been keto since November of last year. So I just hit my year mark. I'm down 60 total pounds and I feel amazing. And I just love what this lifestyle has done for me. And I love helping you guys and coaching you along on your journey yourself. So I've got 3 great keto questions for you tonight that I'm going to go over. So hopefully you'll find a lot of value. So if you have a lot of fun and you learn lots of brand new things about keto tonight, make sure you go ahead and give this video a quick share. I so appreciate your love and support. So first things first question that I have for you tonight is somebody was asking me what the deal is, what the difference is between net carbs and total carbs. So is that something that's confusing for you all? Go ahead and comment carb below if that's something that you're not sure how to count, or if you're struggling with your macros, you can just comment macro below. I would love to see it. In the beginning, I was like really scared to go keto because it just seemed like it was so strict and so difficult. And I'm like, what's a macro? I didn't know what all of these things were. So, and then as I started to track my macros, I started to learn about what the difference was between a net carb and a total carb. So for those of you that are maybe brand new and you're still learning, keto is high fat, moderate protein, and low carb. And typically, most people try to stay under 20 grams of 20 grams of carbs per day on their keto journey. So first things first, one thing I will say is please don't eat less than 20 grams of carbs. That is already low. And I see some of you guys, I get a lot of messages, hundreds of messages every day where people are like, I'm trying to stay at 10 grams or 15 grams of total carbs. And I'm just like, what? Good Lord, that is crazy. Please don't do that. 20 grams is already a challenge. So don't try and eat less than 20 grams, please, okay? Once you get used to it, keto macros are very easy, but I just don't like when people put themselves at such a strict amount of carbs because it can be dangerous. I wanna make sure you're getting all of the nutrients and things that you need. And remember, the carbs that we're eating on keto are healthy carbs. So these are a lot of your leafy greens and your veggies that are keto friendly. So if you're eating less than 20 grams, you're probably not getting all of the nutrients and things that you really need. So the other thing I would like to share with you too is that if you're working out, and I mean consistently, 3 to 5 times a week or more, I would suggest you actually eat a little bit more than 20 grams of carbs. 25 grams to 30 grams would be totally okay for somebody that's working out consistently. Now, if you can say honestly in your heart, hey, I work out, but I'm not consistent. I'm lucky if I do 1 or 2 times a week. I have weeks I miss it. Then in that case, I would stay at 20. But, I've got a lot of really healthy people that are working real hard to change their lifestyle on my page. So, if you're working out consistently and you're really running hard for it and you're making those changes, I honestly think you should up your carbs to about 25 to 30 grams per day. So, hey, Christina, welcome. So as you guys are jumping online, don't forget to say hi and let me know where you're coming in from. We are talking about carbs right now. So if you're confused at all about, we're going to talk about net carbs versus total carbs. So just kind of giving background on it so you guys haven't missed anything yet. So when you're tracking carbs, some people like to track everything. So all of the carbs, you know, every single thing that they eat, that's basically what total carbs are. And then net carbs are for some people that prefer, and this is what I would say 95% of keto people do. You take away your fiber and your sugar alcohols and you just track what's left over after that. Thank you so much for the share, Christina. I appreciate you. So if you guys have a lot of fun and you enjoy my page here, make sure you go ahead and give this video a quick share. I so appreciate your love and support. Hey, Robin from Iowa, welcome. So happy to have you. So myself personally, I definitely go off of net carbs. I don't track total carbs. I feel like that number adds up really quickly. So I do subtract fiber from my diet as well as the sugar alcohols. So for example, let's say you're eating something that has 24 grams of total carbs, but you notice that it's got some fiber in it. You can actually subtract your fiber grams and your sugar grams from the total in order to give yourself your net carbs. Welcome, Jessica. Yeah, you know, it takes some time. Your first month is the hardest, but it does get easier. I promise you that. So just stick with it. So for instance, if you are eating something that's got 24 grams of total carbs and it's got 14 grams of fiber and 4 grams of sugar, erythritol in it, you would just take your 24 minus your 18, and that gives you 6 grams of total net carbs. So typically when I do cooking on my page and I share keto kitchens with you, and I give you some ideas on different things that you can cook in your keto journey, I always give you the net carbs macros versus total carbs. So hopefully that helped clear up some things for you guys that have questions about whether net carbs or total carbs are best for you on your keto journey. Not everybody will. I would say start tracking with net carbs, subtract your fiber and your sugar alcohols. And if you are doing that for over a month and you're still struggling to lose weight and you're having trouble, then at that point, I would say maybe try tracking total carbs just to see if it makes a difference. I do know some people on their keto journey, as they get closer to their goal weight, sometimes you have to be a little bit more strict. So sometimes people will switch over to total carbs at that point in their journey. But for right now, like I'm super close to my goal weight. I'm almost there and I'm fine still with tracking my net carbs. I'm doing well with it. So I would be curious to know how you track your macros for your keto journey. So if you do net carbs or total carbs, go ahead and comment below so that way I can see it in the comments. I would love to just kind of see. I think it's fun to learn how everybody else ketos, because not everybody ketos the same, which I think is really, really fun. There is no like 100% right way. A lot of it is just really about being intuitive with your body and really listening to what your body needs. Okay. So hopefully you guys learned a few things about carbs today. Next question I had is, so I've been sharing with you guys, have you noticed in my Facebook and my Instagram stories, I've been sharing a screenshot of my macros every day. After the holiday, I had a little bit of an issue where, I mean, I didn't really do a huge cheat. I had a nibble on a few different things for the holiday that kind of got me off kilter, because what happens is I'm very prone to binge eating, you guys. So as soon as I introduced even one sweet thing into my diet, I started struggling with that spiral where I wanted more and more and more. So after the holiday, I have gone back to strict keto. So I'm tracking everything and I'm being very meticulous with it. I'm getting back on track. So I've been sharing screenshots of my macros in my stories to kind of show you guys what it looks like and that it's not that hard and that you can do it too. So I'm on like day 3 or 4 now and I feel amazing. I mean, I just have great high energy. I feel really alive. I feel like, you know, the struggles and the issues with the anxiety and depression have lifted. I'm one of these people, like I'm super prone to seasonal depression. So I have to be careful. All of the darkness and all of like the staying inside because it's so cold does not vibe with me. I'm the type of person, I love to be outdoors and walking and going into the woods and stuff, which is hard to do when it's this cold here in New York. And I can definitely feel it having an effect on my mental wellness. But I noticed as soon as I switched back to straight keto, strict keto, I'm feeling awesome and I'm not struggling with those types of things like I was maybe a week or 2 ago. So I've been getting a lot of questions as you guys are seeing my macros. They're like, oh my gosh, I always tell you guys, my goal is to get up over 100 grams of fat every single day. I need to hit 100 grams if I want to continue to be successful on my keto health journey and if I want to continue losing weight. So 100 grams it has to be for me or more. I think technically my goal is 145 grams. So, you know, I try not to max everything out because the goal on your macros is not to overeat and max out and fill out all of the gauges, but I like to make sure I'm getting the majority, especially of my fat, up over 100 grams and filling up most of that fat meter. So I've been putting screenshots in my Facebook and my Instagram stories, and a lot of people are like, how are you eating that much fat? And it's really not that hard. I do it quite easily now. In the beginning, I remember like just getting 40 grams of fat was like a real challenge. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite tips and tricks, and I've got lots of videos on my page about how you can up your healthy fats. So I don't want to dedicate a lot of time on this video because it's a little bit of a repeat question, but I am going to share with you some of my tips and tricks that I've been doing this past week as I've gotten back to strict keto. So yeah, it is cold up here in New York. And it hasn't really snowed yet. We had one bad snow, so we'll see how it goes. So Robin says that she tracks net carbs. I do too. I like it better than doing total carbs. So okay, so first things first, these are some of my tips and tricks about how I get healthy fats in on the daily, up over 100 grams of fat. First things first is I highly recommend starting your day with a bulletproof coffee. So do I have any BPC fans here? If I do, you can go ahead and give me a coffee emoji below, or you can comment BPC for bulletproof coffee. Once I discovered this nifty hack, getting in my healthy fats for the day became much easier because I can actually get 32 grams of total fat in just at the start of my day with one simple drink. So if you're not doing it, definitely give it a try. I know I was on the fence about it. Was anybody else scared to start a bulletproof coffee? If you were, you know, give me like, I don't know, some heart emojis below or something like that. But I thought it was super gross. I was really like on the fence about it. I was like, what? People put butter in their coffee? That's disgusting. Okay. Like at first glance, yes, it is, but it is so good for your body. It is so good for your brain health, your brain fuel. It really just helps your bodies to start producing endogenous ketones. So it increases your ketone production. It sets your brain on fire. You start feeling awake, alert, alive first thing in the morning. And I just really love how I kind of feel like almost like I can feel the cogs spinning as I get all of those healthy fats into my body very first thing in the morning. So, what did she say here? I've heard if you put stevia or something sweet tasting in it, it throws you off of ketosis. That's not something I'm aware of. So as long as you're using a keto-friendly sweetener, I think it's totally fine to use that. Now, I do have a great sugar video, which I think was being commented on a bunch today. I kept seeing it pop up on the news feed. But there are a lot of sugar-free sweeteners that are not keto. Just because it's sugar-free doesn't mean that you have the go-ahead to use it on keto. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's keto approved. So just make sure whatever sweetener you're putting in your coffee is keto approved. Stevia is one of them. It has a little bit of a funny flavor, so you might have to kind of play around with it and figure out how many drops you need, but it's definitely something that you could put in your bulletproof coffee. So for me, I always do some MCT oil, which is very high quality coconut oil, very good for your brain, so good for your brain and your cognition and all of that. I do a tablespoon of grass-fed butter, and then I also add in an extra brain health collagen supplement that's got 12 grams of additional fat in it as well. So if you're somebody that's looking to boost your brain support and more collagen, you can comment cream below and I can get you some more information about that. But through using all of those 3 different things, that gives me 32 grams of total fat per bulletproof coffee, which is amazing. So it really gets you started. You know, if my goal is to get 100 grams of total fat or more for my keto macros, that almost puts me a quarter of the way there. I'm almost halfway there, actually, to be honest. So yes, monk fruit is a really great keto approved sweetener, but just be careful, read the label. Not all versions of monk fruit are actually keto friendly. Some of them have sugar in it, so you just have to be careful and read the label. But pure monk fruit is definitely keto friendly and it tastes very good. So So make sure you're doing a bulletproof coffee. And a neat little keto trick for you when you're doing your bulletproof coffee, don't just add your butter and your coconut oil and your MCT oil and just stir it. You really do have to take an extra second and throw it in a blender and just pulse it for like, I do mine for like 5 or 6 seconds, and it'll get this nice beautiful froth on the top of it. It'll kind of turn into a latte almost, and then you don't have to worry about those oils separating from your coffee, which can be really gross, okay? So just make sure you're blending it up before you drink it, and it really does taste good. You don't taste all of the oils. I mean, it just tastes creamy and delicious. So I actually really enjoy the taste of my bulletproof coffee, right, Shilpa? She says that frothing makes a huge difference. It really does. So don't just stir it and drink it and tell me it's awful, because yes, that is. So second trick for you is, if you're not brand new keto, oh yeah, and you could use a stick blender. Very good, Claudia. Yeah, I don't have one of those yet, but I really should get one. Because I do my bulletproof coffee every day. It would be a good investment for me. So the second thing I do is I do an intermittent fast. So sometimes I'll have lunch, and if I do, I'll do like a nice fresh salad with lots of healthy veggies in it. I'll do like cucumber and green pepper and you know, some protein, and I like to put a lot of olive oil on there, so that way I'm getting my healthy fats. If I have an avocado, I'll throw an avocado on there too, so that gets me a ton of healthy fats for my lunch. But one of the keys of keto, and I talked about this last week Wednesday, is that, you know, you want to only eat if you feel hungry. So getting back into strict keto this week, I'm finding that I'm actually not hungry for lunch. So I've been fasting through lunch all the way to dinner. I mean, technically I'm breaking my fast in the morning because I have a bulletproof coffee, but that's all I have. So I go from dinner to dinner, and I haven't been feeling hungry at all. And I've just been kind of listening to my body. So today around 6 o'clock, I started to finally feel hungry. So I went ahead and I made myself some scrambled eggs and cheese and some bacon. So that's one of my favorite go-to things to do. It's nice and quick and easy. It's going to get you a lot of protein and a lot of fat. Make sure that you're using uncured bacon and you're checking the back of your label there, so that way you're not getting all kinds of additional sugars in your diet from the bacon, because that can totally screw up your ketosis. But if you do scrambled eggs and cheese, I'll cook it in some grass-fed butter. I also add a little bit of heavy whipping cream to my scrambled eggs. That'll give me 32 grams of total fat just with the eggs, the butter, and the heavy whipping cream alone. And then if you add on 3 pieces of bacon, that gives you 5 grams of additional fat. So what is that? 37 grams of total fat in just eggs and cheese and bacon. So there's great little tricks and tips that you can do to actually add on this additional fat that's good for you and good for your keto macros. Some of my favorite snacks that I like to do that are high in fat are macadamia nuts. That gives me, in a quarter of a cup, I get an additional 17 grams of fat. It's also 2 grams of protein, and as long as you measure it out, don't eat more than a quarter of a cup. It's only 2 grams of carbs, so it's on the low end. I also, one of my favorite snacks is cream cheese, celery, and olives, and you could even do a little drizzle of olive oil on top. So that gives me 19 grams of fat in just like maybe like a 5-inch I don't know, piece of celery. Like you can cut it up into like smaller little snack size pieces. So already, just from my bulletproof coffee, some nuts, some scrambled egg cheese and bacon, and my celery snack, that puts me at 116 grams of fat for the day. So it adds up really quickly if you just kind of know the right things to look for. So I thought I would just share a little bit of a snapshot of like what my day looked like today. That was literally what I ate today. And to kind of share with you guys about how I get the fats in. You know, it takes practice, but it's really not that hard. So if you want to share what some of your favorite ways to get fats into your diet on the comments here, I think that would be really fun to kind of see all of the different things. I'll share some of my other favorites. Olive oil, like I said. Coconut oil, avocados are definitely one of my favorite ways to get up the healthy fats. I also love pepperoni, cheese. I don't know, what other ones do you guys have? There's just a ton of really great fats that you can do to help support you on your keto journey. So hopefully you guys learned a few things. Also fat bombs. I'm not really big on fat bombs, but I did kind of make a no-bake cookie last night that's technically more like a fat bomb, and it's amazing. It's got 36 grams of total fat in it. So if you can make a fat bomb or a no-bake cookie like that and store it in your fridge, if you get that urge for a sweet treat, or if you feel like your macros are really low and you're not that hungry, you could just have one little fat bomb and it'll give you an extra 30 to 40 grams of fat, and it'll really just help you finish your day off strong for your keto macros. So the last question that I had here for my Win It Wednesday tips and tricks today was somebody asked me what my favorite keto dessert was. And hopefully you guys won't think this is a cop-out, but last night I made a chocolate peanut butter no-bake cookie. First time I ever made this, and I swear it will be a staple in my diet from now into the rest of my life. I really enjoyed that recipe. So if you guys are looking, it's like 5 ingredients. It's super easy. It's just some unsweetened cocoa powder, unsweetened coconut flakes, keto-friendly peanut butter, and some butter. So I think that was it. It's like 4 or 5 ingredients. You mix them together and freeze them up. I froze them into like little small cookies like this, and they have 36 grams of total fat in them, and it literally tastes like a peanut butter cup. So I've looked at a lot of the peanut butter cup recipes on Pinterest for fat bombs, and I found them to be like really intimidating because like they turn out into actual little, you know, peanut butter cups, and you need a silicone mold. And if you guys know me, if you've been following me on my journey, you know that like I'm simple keto. Like I can't get too fancy. It's got to be quick and easy if it's going to work for me in my life. So I've always wanted to do a keto friendly peanut butter cup, but a lot of the recipes were just like way too hard for me. So this one worked out easy, and I like the addition of coconut in there. So if you're looking for a really great keto recipe, keto dessert, you can go back and check out my video from last night. I think you guys will really enjoy it. So that was everything that I had for you guys tonight. I hope that you enjoyed some of the answers to your questions here that you put on my page. If you guys are curious, on my page on Wednesdays, I always do Win It Wednesday, and I'll put a post up and I'll ask you for your feedback to ask me your keto questions. So all of the questions that are on there, I actually will go in and I'll pull 3 or 4 of them to do for the video every night. So this is something that you always have a chance to participate in every week. I also put it in my Facebook and my Instagram stories, so you can just click on it and then put your question in. So I think it's a really fun way to get everybody interactive and to help people no matter what stage you're on in your keto journey, whether you're brand new or you're a veteran. It kind of gets all of the questions in one place, which I really, really like. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you learned a few brand new things. If you had fun and you got a lot of value out of this video, make sure you go ahead and give it a quick share. I so appreciate your love and support. And if we're not friends yet, make sure you go ahead and send me a friend request and hit follow. Thanks, you guys. Have a great night. I'll be back to chat with you again soon. Take care.